Okay, so there's a roller coaster of emotions happening right now. This is Fumble Puck. I'm Noah. I'm here with Ashley. Ashley, how you doing?
I'm angry. I'm hurt. I'm concerned. I'm worried. I'm all of those emotions. I'm on the roller coaster for sure. How about you?
I am on all kinds of roller coasters right now because there was a really big satisfaction from Game 7. And Game 1 was really enjoyable to watch from a fan perspective. And then it sucked at the end. So I'm in a weird spot. And I hear that we might be opening our patios next week instead of 2 weeks from now. So I'm doubly in the weeds at work.
Good times. Yeah, Game 7 was, I literally clenched my foot so hard that it killed. And it was insane. And that was so exciting. And I was jumping around like a lunatic. And then I was really enjoying last night's game until the last, minute and 40 seconds. And actually, even before that, like when Ben Sherratt had his helmet off, I was about to be pounded into the ice. I was not okay with that. You know my feelings for Hot Sherratt. And then similar thing happened with Perry getting elbowed in the face again. No call. The reffing
like Stanley that's a big hit.
Yeah, the reffing is a little bit no. And
little bit?
Yeah, it's disgusting. And then I'm sure the Habs are doing things back. Like I'm sure it's not just us, but like come on. 100%. And then of course you have the whole I'm assuming you heard about the Jake Evans hit, right? So yeah.
It might have been a thing that I was yelling at people on Twitter about last night.
Yeah, I was up the whole night tossing and turning worrying about him, even though I don't know him and he doesn't know who I am, but
it was his birthday.
I know he scored his first ever goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs on his birthday, and then got
Scheifele.
Yeah,
it's a verb. He got
Scheifele. Yeah, exactly. I realized his last name is EI, which is funny because very few people have that. I have it, but most people don't have that. And when I was spelling it wrong all night last night, I was like, wait a second, I should know how to spell this. It's the same as mine, but. My last name's not Scheifele, but it has an EI in it also, which is wrong.
You are not Scheifele.
Grammar, I'm not Scheifele. And if I was, I'd be changing my name today. So, yeah.
Okay, so we'll get to Winnipeg in a little bit. But first, I want to make sure that we get a chance to recap Toronto.
Yes.
So there's some definite Schadenfreude coming from me on this. Like it's hard not to feel a little bit of sick pleasure watching TSN and Sportsnet melt down.
Oh, it's amazing. It's that was like, honestly, I told you, I wanted us to win, to see the media, to watch them melt down. And even last night, they were like not giving us any form of like hope. They were all like, my mom and I had an over-under as to how many times they're going to mention Marner, Nylander, Tavares, Matthew, or the Leafs during the broadcast. Because we're like, we know they're going to bring it up all the time. Like, come on. It was, oh my God. It's wonderful. I love it. I love watching them melt.
I had some people saying they felt bad for Steve Dangle. I don't really feel bad for Steve Dangle because he's got a pretty sweet job. But it was quite something hearing the ultimate Leafs homer be like, I don't know if I can care about this team next year.
Well, he's welcome aboard the Habs train, unless he's the bad luck charm. In that case, stay there. But, it was so funny. I know. I was laughing. I thought it was funny.
It was pretty impressive. And like, I didn't think there's just like, now there's an undeniable narrative. Like I was going to say undeniable truth, but like, I don't know if it's 100% true, but there's definitely a narrative that the Habs are that team that no one ever wants to play and they show up in big games. Like they know how to Game 7.
They do. They do. See, I'm knocking on wood still. It continues. They do. And I was really impressed with their Game 7, to be honest with you. I would have liked the 5-0 blowout, so I didn't have to worry at all, but I'll take it. I was very happy. Once Gallagher scored, you can kind of feel the air deflate. Do you know what I mean? Like, So it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've never seen, normally it's the other way around where they score one goal on us and we feel like we can't get back in it. But after Gallagher scored, and it was a soft goal, yeah, and like, I'm not going to knock Jack Campbell, but like, that was the one soft goal, right? And it just felt like they were done. It was a weird feeling as a Habs fan. I was like, this is normally how we feel, you know?
Yeah, how the tables turned. So
how the turntables.
Exactly.
I want some credit where credit's due bits I need to talk about from that. Yeah. First off, Dominic Ducharme, who I've been really mad at for a long time. The way he managed Gustafsson and Kulak's ice time through games 6 and 7 was really, really impressive. Definitely outcoached Sheldon Keefe in those last 2 games. Huge credit to him. Good job.
I agree. I've been very hard on him too. And Gustafsson played an amazing game. I mean, last night, no, but the night before against Toronto, he was great. In
he was good Gustafsson, and then last night he was bad Gustafsson.
Yeah, like I hope Romanov comes in tomorrow because Romanov. I keep doing that. But yes, I agree. It was a bit of a mess. But yeah, he was great. I give props to Ducharme. He deserves them. Even though I'm going to be mad at myself for this, I give Bergevin some props there too.
Specifically for what?
Getting Gustafsson, and I mean, even though Romanov could have probably done that, but getting Gustafsson and getting a team that competes hard in the playoffs, and getting Eric Stahl, who was great last night, and he's been good in the playoffs. I want to take him out.
Did you see my tweet this morning?
No, I did not. I was probably sleeping.
Eric Stahl is the leading scorer of the Montreal Canadiens in the playoffs.
Is he actually?
Tied with Tyler Toffoli for the lead.
I was going to say, wasn't it Tyler? Okay.
Yeah, they're both tied with. So they both have 6 points, but Toffoli played all 8. Eric Stahl missed 1. So Eric Stahl is the highest points per game of any player on the team right now.
Oh, there you go.
So remember we talked about a month ago about Eric Stahl saying, don't worry, it'll happen. I'll bring it when the time comes. He's putting money where his mouth is, and I'm very, very pleased about it.
That's awesome.
It's nice to not hate Eric Stahl anymore and being back to loving him.
It's been a while, eh?
Yeah. Did you see my 3 stars of the series?
No, I was probably sleeping during that tweet too.
That was a few days ago, like a couple of days ago, right? But first star, there's not really any question to it. It's Carey Price, right?
Yeah.
My second star was Kotkaniemi.
Yeah.
Because he brought that spark that we really needed. And then third, absolutely unsung hero. Well, he's not unsung. He was definitely sung. Was Phil Deneau shutting down that line. Oh,
yeah, I did see your 3 stars.
Yeah, and like that Deneau Matthews moment at the end in the handshake line, I thought that was pretty cool. You could tell that they were giving respect to each other.
Yeah, but Matthews tried to do that with everybody. And you know what I think he was really saying to all of them?
Bro, I'm better than you, bro.
No, he was saying, put in a good word for me and I'll come there.
Oh, man. Yes, please. I hate him, but yes, please.
Would you take Nylander or Marner on your team?
I would take Willie Nylander. I would take both, to be honest with you. Like, here's the thing that I think about Toronto. Like, if I was doing a quick little postmortem, I'm not it's not my idea. I've seen a couple of people talk about it. Like, I think James Myrtle talked about it. When they first signed these deals, they were expecting this year for the cap to be at like $89 million, right? They've lost $7 to $8 million off the cap over what they expected it to be. If the cap was there, these contracts wouldn't be hurting them at all. I think they need to reevaluate now that we know the cap's going to be 81.5 for the next few years. Like that, their big 4 don't fit anymore, right? Like if you're Toronto and you trade Willie Nylander, you're an idiot. Like you're just the dumbest GM in the world. Like you're thinking it might have to be Marner. Like you'd hope it, like you'd kind of want it to be Tavares, but it's not going to be because he's got a no move. Kind of sounds like it's got to be Marner.
You know what? When they signed Tavares, I said that was the stupidest thing they could have done. They needed a defenseman, not John Tavares.
Well, maybe not, right? Because their problem in this series was that they couldn't score because they didn't have any secondary scoring after the Matthews line got shut down.
That's not true. Nylander was scoring like crazy.
Well, I wouldn't say like crazy, but yeah, he was a one-man show, right? So having Tavares there would have definitely made a difference. Well, not definitely, but possibly, right? Like having that player who can put pucks in the nets, because that was their issue. Everyone talks about, Toronto has no defense. They had the second best defense in the playoffs. They were actually really amazing defensively, but it just didn't, like they couldn't score goals, which is crazy to say about Toronto.
Well, Kerfoot was great. Or maybe, just maybe, we did a good job stopping them. Maybe we were the difference this time. And Price was unbelievable. And he wasn't even spectacular. He didn't have to make those incredible saves. He was fantastic, don't get me wrong. But he wasn't, like, you know what I mean? He wasn't the elite Price that we've seen. I mean, in a couple games, he made some elite saves, but he didn't have to steal the series, really. You know what I mean?
We out-depthed them because their bottom 6 were absolute, pardon my language, dog shit, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I think they need to look at getting rid of one of them. If they get rid of Willie Nylander, I hope they do because I like watching them suffer, but they'd be dumb to do so. Yeah. But, like, you get rid of Mitch Marner, that's $11 million. You can get two $5 million players and you're probably winning that series, you know, like who knows?
Well, we'll see what happens. Who's going to take on Marner's contract, though? It's an albatross of the contract.
Not really, because most of the money's been paid out already. That's the thing.
He's still $11 million cap hit a year, isn't he?
Yeah, lots of teams can fit one $11 million player into their cap. The problem is when you have 3, right? He was flirting with Columbus. It's not crazy. Like I could see a Columbus fit,
Actually, I was thinking how Columbus would probably love to have him, probably for Seth Jones, because Marner and Domi were best friends, our best friends.
There you go.
I already thought about that, how Domi would be happy. And you'd be happy.
Line Domi, Marner is your line?
Ugh, you're making me nauseous.
Wild.
Yeah, I want Line here.
So on to Winnipeg. That was a surprising start. It was like the opposite of how I thought the series would start.
Me too, but I was really happy with it. My mom and I watched together. So I had this thing where I'm very superstitious. We went over this last time. My mom and I did not watch any of the Toronto Maple Leaf series together because we didn't start that way and we weren't about to jinx it halfway through. So yesterday I said to her, come over, we'll watch the game. So she came over. We watched the game on the TV that we always lose on too, because I have a TV that we never win on.
The winning TV and the losing TV?
And I have an extra TV just in case. Yes, but one in my bedroom. But we watched on the upstairs TV on the couch. We never ever win. We only watched like maybe, I think 2 games ever up there together before. But last night we tried it. My mom's like, turn off the air conditioning. It's freezing in here. So turn off the air conditioning. By the third period, we were sweating. And she wouldn't let me turn it back on because she's also superstitious. And I was like, Mom, I'm sweating buckets here. And like, whatever, we had to keep going with it because of, the juju or whatever. And we ended up winning. So I was like, Mom, Friday night, you're back here again. And then what's really funny is at one point, I love you, Mom, but I have to tell this story because it was so funny. So it was Stahl, Perry, and Armia, and they were cycling the puck at the beginning of, I want to say, the second period behind the net of Hellebuck. And it was a good, minute and a half. My mom's like, get the puck out of there. I'm like, we're in the Winnipeg zone. She's like, oh. She's so used to us being in our zone.
Being hemmed in.
Exactly. So she was like, what are they doing? I'm like, Mom, we're in their zone. She's like, never mind. I'm like, exactly. It was so funny though, because she doesn't usually make those mistakes, but it was just so funny. And I was just started laughing at her. And then later on in the period, we were in their zone. I'm like, Mom, get it out, Mom. Anyways, so yes, I love you, Mom, but I had to tell that story because it was very funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you know that Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who scored last night, has more goals per game in the playoffs than Austin Matthews?
Do you know that he scored in the second round before Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner and Nylander and a bunch of other players, including Brady Tkachuk has, just to let you know?
That's awesome. See the stat about when the Habs score 3 goals in the playoffs or more, They're now on an 18-game win streak. Like, they just don't lose when they score 3 goals or more.
Here's hoping. I am so impressed with them. Like, I don't know where they came from, but they're playing like January Habs again, which is fabulous. And honestly, like, I don't want to get ahead of myself at all. However, yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Yeah.
What didn't look good was Jake Evans with Mark Scheifele, right? That sucked. Jake Evans worked his butt off to get that empty net goal, and then Mark Scheifele clearly didn't even bother to make a play. He just went for the hit, right? And it was a couple of times in the game that he had some like really aggressive behavior. It was really like the whole Sherratt thing earlier when he took the penalty. What a garbage way to end the game.
He was lying there with his head on the ice without a helmet on, and Scheifele went to go push his head into the ice without a helmet on. What are you doing?
And they're friends.
Are they? Oh, well, they played together.
Yeah.
I understand moment of passion. I understand you're jacked up. You want to play. I get it. But there's a line, and you don't injure someone or intend to injure someone or try to injure someone. It's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. Get your emotions in check. Like somebody last night on TSN 690 post-game show was saying, remember that game when Corey Perry was being a little bit disruptive and Ducharme sent him to the room with like 10 minutes left? He got him misconduct and there was like 5 minutes left in the game and Ducharme said, don't come out. Do you remember this?
Yep.
Okay. That's what you do when your player is going, I'm sorry, but batshit insane. That's what you do. You calm him down. You take him out. I don't care what you have to do.
Yeah, but you wonder, like, maybe Maurice wanted that, right? Like maybe he was hoping that he would stay on the line and not go over it. I don't know. Well,
he did go over it. I mean, he charged 190 feet and then hit somebody in the head on a wraparound goal. Come on.
Like, let's say Jake Evans wasn't injured on that play. Let's say Evans let's say it was a hit, but Evans got up and he was fine, right? Yeah. Everyone would be talking about what a frustrated but strong character move Mark Scheifele's doing to impose himself physically. People are mad because it was a bad hit, right? I think if I'm the coach, I'm probably like, oh, good job. Too bad he got hurt, and especially when you know that player safety doesn't take a lot of action. I don't know. I'm annoyed at the whole state of the league when it comes to physical play.
So am I. I'm choking. Hold on 1 second.
Don't choke. Like the Leafs.
Sorry. What'd you say? Don't choke. That's the Leafs?
Yeah.
No, what really bothered me is Jake Evans was out before he even touched the ice. He couldn't brace himself. The hit knocked him out. If you watch it, he was out before he hit the ice. Sorry.
Yeah, you were.
I am emotional, but I'm also choking. So that's why I sound like I'm crying. I'm not crying. I'm just choking. But on a granola bar from before. Anyways, what upsets me about this whole thing is the fact that, first of all, people are defending this. Like, how are you even?
How can you surprise me, right? Like, there are two things I've come to learn in the last couple of games. One is that no matter what happens, there's going to be galaxy brain takes on it. And the second is that as a Habs fan, I need to embrace the villain role when it comes to Sportsnet and TSN. Like, they're just never going to give it to us. So like, I'm not going to get angry about it anymore. I'm just going to be like, yep, that's who we are. Those are the two learnings I've had for the past 48 hours.
But you know what's interesting? Even Sportsnet, who hates us, all said he should be suspended. All of them.
Oh, yeah, because he should be, but people trying to say, the penalty's just fine. I don't think so. Like, Down Goes Brown said it best. That was the mother of all charges. If you don't suspend this charging is no longer a penalty.
Well, exactly. But I mean, he charged 190 feet, Noah. It wasn't like a 3 or 4 step, 100.
The mother of all charges. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And his intent, you can see there was intent based on how he played the game prior to that.
And he didn't even try to touch the puck. He could have, there was a low chance, but there was a chance to make a stick play. And he decided, he's like, I'm not going to make the stick play. I'm going to punish this kid. Because if you don't believe you can stop the puck from going in the net, the play's dead. You might as well just stop skating. Right.
Exactly. And you let up.
But he continued and he went for the hit. Like it's very obviously intending to hit him hard. I could be swayed on an intent to injure. I'm not convinced by it, but I could hear the argument for it. But it's definitely intent to level the fuck out of him.
Yeah. Well, and there was another moment. There was something that was said a couple of days ago. I forget who said it. I want to say it was Scheifele. It might have been Ehlers. It was somebody who said, and props to Ehlers. I just want to say props to Ehlers for trying to shield Jake Evans. Thank you. We really, as Habs fans, myself and Noah, we do appreciate, and everybody else who I've seen, thank you for doing the right thing and trying to protect him. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you for being a kind human. So just throwing that out there. But something about, because they were comparing how Matthews and Danault and how Danault stopped Matthews. And whoever was saying this for the Jets was like, yeah, we're used to that. It doesn't bother us. We play against top lines all the time. We know how good it is. Well, game one proved that maybe you weren't so used to it. And maybe you've never seen something of whatever Danault, Gallagher, and Evans bring. And they were pissed. Like, I mean, for someone who claimed 2 days earlier, yeah, we're fine. We can do it. No problem. I don't think knocking out our player is a solution to your problem,
Yep. I think it's terrible. And maybe he was angry that Stasny couldn't play and that DeMello got hurt, but
it's not our fault.
Exactly.
Don't blame us.
Exactly. Right.
We didn't do it. We didn't take DeMello out. I didn't even know what happened to him. He tweaked his knee on a hitting Gallagher or something. You
know who else was really good in that game?
Who?
Joel Edmondson.
So Steady Eddie has been, ever since his first week when we were like, oh my God, what the hell was Bergevin thinking? He has been so good and quietly sound, which is wonderful because when you're a defenseman, you don't want to be talked about, right? He is that pass to Suzuki.
Yep.
Oh my God. What a stud you are, Joel.
And that Suzuki goal was a stud goal.
Yes, it was. It was a beautiful, beautiful goal, beautiful assist.
All the goals were pretty good. The Stahl goal was great. The Kotkaniemi tip was awesome, right? Deflection, everything. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. It was a wonderful, and you have to say that my boy, Kyle Connor, what a snipe.
So he was the player I wanted Montreal to draft, and I was crossing my fingers that he would still be on the board, but he wasn't. But he was the player. I don't know if you remember me telling you that back in the draft year, but he was the guy I was targeting. I was like, I want Kyle Connor. That's the guy.
I wish we had Kyle Connor. He's so good. Oh my God.
I think he's supremely underrated in the league because he's a consistent 30-goal scorer, and no one even knows his name because he plays in Winnipeg.
I thought his name was Connors for a long time, but yes, I know his name. I've known his name a long time, and he's so good. Yeah, probably because of you, let's be honest. But yeah, big fan. Meanwhile, what's going on with Stastny? Do we know?
No, so he was expected to play. He was in the morning skate and then a game time pull. So I don't know what's wrong with him. But
he wasn't at the morning skate. That was the whole thing. He wasn't. He wasn't at both skates.
Oh, right. Sorry. He was supposed to be there, but then they pulled him in the morning. Right.
So I don't know. Anyways, well, whatever. They're going to be without Scheifele now too, hopefully.
They've got without Stastny, they've got some serious depth issues, right?
Well, without Scheifele and Stastny, they really have some serious depth issues. You know what? I hope Stastny's out for 3. I hope we sweep.
I mean, yeah.
When I say Stastny, I meant Scheifele. Whatever.
I know what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take both.
Pierre Dubois is going to be their number 1 center. From number 2 winger to number 1 center. We'll see what happens there.
Interesting.
And then they've got, so like that would probably bump Adam Lowry up to second line center.
He also got hurt last night.
Well, he came back though, right?
Yeah, but they said it. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him either. I like Adam. I really
They're
honestly
gonna have to bump up Matthew Perreault to be third line center probably, which he's not good. And Uncle Nate is getting outplayed by Eric Stahl. So I don't know.
I have to say though, until last night, I had no reason to hate the Jets, and now I can't stand them. So thanks, Winnipeg. Thanks, Scheifele.
I have a Winnipeg Jets jersey and a Winnipeg Jets T-shirt. Like I like the Jets, but now I'm like shelving that for the next while. You know, like wait till next season. And I'm never gonna forgive Mark Scheifele. Like screw him, he's dead to me.
Yeah, me too. And I was a really big Scheifele fan, and
I was never a big Scheifele fan. Like I like Blake Wheeler, I like Nick Ehlers, I like Kyle Connor. You know, I love their third line, like the Lowry and Kopp line. Like I think that's a great line.
And Appleton, yep.
Yeah, right. Like, but
I really like
Scheifele's never been a guy that I've gravitated towards.
Yeah. No, I really like Scheifele. I want, again, you know me and my name thing. I wanted Scheifele because of his name. But they drafted him. I really wanted him. I think he was 9th overall or something, and I really wanted him. And I was pissed that Winnipeg got him solely for.
I was a big Blake Wheeler fan just because I really appreciated his journey, where he went from being like 4th line on Boston, trying to get time, you know, and working his way up, and he's great. I
liked him. I actually liked him when he was in Boston, which made me feel kind of dirty. He was 7th overall, Scheifele. Sorry. I really liked him. I was always a fan of him too. I honestly really like the Jets. And now I'm just like, nope, dead to me. Hate you. Go away. I don't want to ever hear about them again.
Unless they're playing Toronto.
No, I actually don't even know who I cheer for. I would have a hard time.
The Jets.
That's how bad it is. I do not forgive shit like this. No.
Okay. Understood.
I cheer for Boston over both of them. I can tell you that much.
Interesting.
Especially because Chara is no longer there.
I love Chara. I'm a huge Pacioretty fan. For those who know me, like I miss Max Pacioretty. I'm a big fan. But I also have a huge amount of respect. I love Zdeno Chara. Like I hope he doesn't retire. I want him to play hockey till he's 50. I love him. I
keep hearing how he's like the most wonderful human being.
Yeah, he's like the nicest guy on the planet. He just got really riled up by Montreal because you remember how that started, the whole Pacioretty Chara thing. So it was a couple of games earlier. Montreal was playing Boston. Pacioretty scored in overtime to win the game, and as he scored, he skated by Chara and like tapped him on the side.
And nudged him. Yeah.
And Chara was like, "Okay, like don't gloat. I'm gonna kick your ass," you know. And then I remember because Hal Gill and Chara started going at it in a scrum, and I was like, "This is crazy. The 2 tallest guys in the NHL are going at it." But like, so he was already mad at Pacioretty, and then he took it out on him, which is terrible. He should never have done it. But like his charity work in the community, he's a very vocal. The way he carries himself as a captain, like he doesn't let people call rookies, you know, in the room. He's like, no, you don't call them rookies. They're not rookies. They're part of our team. They're Bruins. You know, I just think he oozes leadership. And he's not a Bruin anymore, so it's great.
Yeah, he was a Cap. I could cheer for him this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
Tomorrow night.
Yes.
Would you put in Tatar or Lehkonen? I personally would put in Lehkonen.
Personally, I like Lehkonen more than Tatar, but if it's to replace Jake Evans, it's hard not to put Tatar back on that line with Danault and Gallagher because it's a known commodity, right?
I disagree. I would put Lehkonen. You know why?
Why?
Penalty kill. We're losing Evans. We need someone to replace him. And Lehkonen is an amazing forechecker, and he plays the game just like Evans. He's not as fast necessarily, but he plays the game just like Evans. He's at Evans 2.0. They're very interchangeable, those two.
Yeah, I have time for that. I'd be okay with either or. I personally like Lehkonen more than Tatar, so I'm a little biased there. I won't be upset with whichever decision he makes, unless it goes wrong, then I'll be mad. But you know.
Right. Well, also, we just want to say Jake Evans, not that you'll ever hear this, but if you ever do, we wish you, first of all, a very happy birthday. We're sorry that happened. Second of all, it was a beautiful goal. Third of all, we really hope you feel better and that you can recover. And I hope this is not the end of your hockey career. You have a very bright future, regardless of what you choose to do. We wish you the best.
Yeah. Game 2's tomorrow. So we're waiting on Scheifele's suspension. It's happening today. It will be a suspension. Mark my words. I don't know how long, but there will definitely be something.
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't, but yeah.
I'm confident in this one. I don't know how many games it'll be. Like, it could be one game, but I'm confident there will be a suspension. We have to watch for the Stastny and DeMello injuries to see where they're at and if they're playing that tomorrow, because that's a huge hit to their lineup. Right? Like, they struggled defensively without DeMello, which makes sense because he's their best defensive D. So we'll see.
Yeah, I really like Morrissey.
He is overrated as hell. He might be the most overrated defenseman in the league.
Really?
Like, he's just not good at hockey. He's genuinely not good at hockey. But because he was with Jacob Trouba for a while, we thought he was good.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens, right?
Yep. And it was funny because separate, they both sucked. Together, they were good. But apart, they're both individually bad. It's funny. Sometimes the chemistry matters, right? Like Ben Sherratt playing with Shea Weber. Sometimes things just work. Which I still don't understand, but I'll take it. The trident. Now it's not a trident anymore. It's a quadrant. Is that? I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've been amazing. They've been so solid, and I really hope Romy draws in for Gusty tomorrow.
We shall see.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Take us around the league, Noah. Go for it.
Cool. So the Avalanche are absolutely thrashing the Golden Knights. I know yesterday's game went to overtime, but it really wasn't close. It was like Grubauer shut the door and put on a Vezina-nominated Philip Grubauer put on a show. The Avalanche look insane. Called it. Yep. Yeah. Nathan McKinnon is Nathan McKinnoning everybody. So what else do you want to do, right? He's probably, outside of any Habs player, he is probably my favorite player in the entire league. I love him. He's so good. He is very good at hockey. Fair. Yeah. It's funny because there was a couple of years there where everyone's like, maybe he wasn't the right pick for first overall. And then when he turned like 24, he was like, no, I've got this. Yeah, I have to just chime in something quickly. Sorry, this is about Evans, and they just on Twitter, and I've been saying this too. I said the best way to win is not to fight. I don't want to see this Foligno fight crap that happened in Toronto. No. What I want to see, if you want to win, you score. You score goals. You take it out on them that way. You win and you dominate. And Paul Byron just said, we've got to win hockey games for Evans. That's the best way to respond. I saw Petrie, I think, said it too. And that's exactly what they have to do. Sorry to cut in with this, but it was just posted 36 seconds ago. But that's exactly it. They want to win. They want to get retribution. They win. They just win the game. That's it. I agree. Sorry, I had to throw that out there. Yeah. I have to work tomorrow during the game. I have no idea how I'm going to be able to pay attention. I'm watching it. Yes, and so Boston and the New York Islanders are digging in. That series is a little closer than I expected it to be. I'm still hoping that Boston wins that one. I still think Boston will win that one, but I prefer the Islanders, but I think Boston. I would just love to have a Montreal-Boston final. Again, way too far in the future. I knocked wood too, but I'm just saying that would be like ideal. I mean, my heart couldn't take it, but it'd be great. But I think Boston's going to clock them. Yeah. And then Tampa is handling Carolina, which is disappointing because I expected a bigger fight from Carolina. I'm not surprised at all. At all. It's tough because Carolina, like, what more can you do for that team to make them better? I know, but just Tampa's just the beast of the NHL. Like, no one's going to beat Tampa. I mean, I'd like to think people will, but they're just so good. I just hate seeing back-to-back cup winners. Like, I'm just not a fan of it. Unless it's us. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever seen that, right? So well, we've been alive, no, but it has happened. Maybe you wouldn't be a fan of it. You don't know. You've never seen it. Maybe you'd hate it. Why would I hate us winning the cup twice? Come on. Yeah, I know. I'm just No. Okay, right. I got my hot take. You want my hot take? I do. What is it? So after the game last night, Joel Edmondson made a comment about the Evans hit in regards to Scheifele, and he said, if player safety will handle it, which is the right thing to say, but then he said, if he's playing in this series, we're going to make his life miserable. I think the league should not punish him, but they should send a warning. Hey, those comments are not appropriate. They kind of they're inflammatory and they're not what we're looking for in this kind of series, right? That makes it worse, not better. Tone it down. I think he was indicating more of
like the way Corey Perry annoys people. I don't think he was indicating he's going to go and try to level his head. I could be wrong. I would hope he did not mean that, because that's never a way to solve problems. Violence with violence is not okay. I'm not pro-violence. And I even tweeted last night saying this whole thing with Scheifele. I'm not a violent person. I don't fight people. I don't hit people. I'm not that person. If I was walking down the street, someone got really mad, or I got mad at someone and I punched them in the head the way that he did and I charged them, I'd be in jail.
Yep.
So, I mean, first of all, that's a whole other issue, player safety. We could have a whole podcast on just that alone and how much I have no faith in them whatsoever. However, I mean, I agree with you. Maybe they should issue Edmonton just like a little like heads up, like no retaliation. Don't do any of that stuff. And they should not retaliate that way. I agree. Again, winning is the retaliation. Winning. Just win.
Yes.
That's my opinion on this. But I'm hoping he didn't mean it in a vengeful way.
Yeah, and I think maybe like Mark Bergevin should say, hey, man, on your pregame media availability, you should clarify those comments so no one thinks it was wrong, right?
Right, and maybe he will. I mean, Edmondson is not a stupid guy, so maybe he is. I don't know the guy, but he doesn't come across as a stupid guy, so maybe he will. I think he was just really caught up in the moment, and I mean...
Do you know why Edmondson was so caught up in the moment? Because he was given time on the power play last night, and he probably was freaking out. Did you notice that Surratt and Edmondson both had power play time?
Yeah, I did. And I said, what the hell's happening here?
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? This is bad decision making because we're not guaranteed to win yet. But hey, it worked out. You know?
I had the same thought too. I was like, why are those two on the power play? But no, I think Edmondson, and I honestly, like, Noah, could you pay attention the last minute and a half? I was like, I don't even want to watch this. I felt sick to my stomach. I didn't want to watch it. I hate seeing injuries, and I understand it's a game. I understand shit happens, but no. And
then I've got a hot take that I want people to avoid. I won't go so far as to call it dumb, but it's not something that we should be doing right now. A lot of people on Twitter are hopping on saying Mark Scheifele needs to be drug tested. Look at his eyes. I don't think that's appropriate. I think that just makes things worse. The players do get drug tested, so you know.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, remember when Nick Backstrom got suspended?
No, I do not.
Got suspended because he didn't realize there were side effects of something that he took, and it was there's a banned substance in one of his like pain medications he took or whatever.
They literally get 2 no-notice tests every year. That's it.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about that from Mark Scheifele, and I know he was like angry all night long, but we're not doctors. I think that's unhealthy to start commenting on that, and it leads on a very bad road of prejudice in the wrong way that even Mark Scheifele doesn't deserve. Right? We're still riding the wave. It's playoff time. We went into the Toronto series, and halfway into the Toronto series, we were all kind of worried, right? Everything we're doing now is house money. We're playing with house money. The hockey gods are in full effect. I want everyone listening to do whatever they can to enjoy the rest of this series and this playoff run because it's special. It's cool.
It is. And I have to say, okay, so I put my Twitter predictions up, and then I put Winnipeg because I thought Toronto might win that series. And then the second that we won, I changed it to Montreal, but not because I'm a homer, totally because I'm a homer. But but I have to say, I am very impressed with the Habs. I really hope that this freak accident, I guess you can say, or freak injury, I hope Evans is okay. And I hope that we can rally around it and use it to win and not use it as a way to lose focus. You know what I mean? Like, I want us to push harder and to win and to show up and just kick some Winnipeg tushy, you know?
I love it.
Yeah. Anyways, as always, you can find us on all social media platforms at Fumble Puck Pod, except on Facebook where it's at Fumble Puck Podcast. We're going to begin to post episodes up there as soon as I have the time, which might be when the Habs are out of the playoffs, but hopefully before. We could always message us, tweet us, tell us if you want to be on the show. We'd love to have people come and guest and give us your opinions, unless it's that Scheifele was right. In that case, we don't want you. And go Habs, go.
Woo!